Come in.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Joe. I'm Holly with American Income Life Insurance Company. I spoke to you about the will kit and the no-cost benefits.
Yeah, sure. Come in, sit
Is
down.
Mary here?
She is.
Okay.
She'll be down in a second.
Perfect. They have me use my laptop to save some time for quality control. Do you mind if we sit at your kitchen table near an outlet?
That's fine. How long is this going to take? We were actually kind of planning some things this afternoon.
Yeah, no worries. It doesn't take too long for me. Actually, the quicker the better. They have me kind of running around like crazy. I have to see a member every hour on the hour. So basically what I'll do is I'll just go over everything that you're entitled to. You're going to really love what they set up for you. Is it okay if we sit?
So set up for me, or are you going to try to sell me something?
My job is just to deliver and explain the will kit and the benefits and explain everything that you're entitled to. You do what you want with the information. Is it okay if we sit at the table?
Absolutely.
Perfect. I love y'all's home. How long have you lived here?
About 5 years.
Okay, awesome. Are you guys both from the area?
No. I met her in the Philippines.
Okay. So how long have you all been in America, I guess?
We've been over here about 15 years. I retired from the military, so.
Okay, perfect. Have you stayed retired or you been doing other things?
We have a couple of side businesses we work.
Awesome, like what?
We have a motorcycle repair shop and an RV renting
Awesome.
business.
Awesome. My dad's been a Harley man my whole life. Yeah, when he died, I actually got to ride his bike for the, like the, I don't know, week.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
That's cool. So let me go ahead and get you guys in here. So do y'all have kids?
None in the house.
Grown
They're all
kids?
grown, yeah.
What do they do?
College and entrepreneur, he says, but I think he's just making soap in the backyard.
Uh-oh. Well, I'm sure they'll figure it out. And what about you, Mary? What do you do?
Homemaker.
Oh, okay, cool. So you got the hard job. You got to keep him together.
Right.
So what do you guys like to do for fun in your retirement?
We travel a bit with the RV.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw it out there. It's a nice rig. Perfect. So let me tell you guys like this a little bit about me. So I've actually been doing this for about 4.5 years now. I really, really like my job. I take it very, very seriously. I unfortunately lost both of my parents, and neither one of them had wills or life insurance or anything set up. So I'm very passionate about helping families get that type of stuff in order. So I'm going to take care of y'all the same way that I wish somebody would have sat down and took care of my parents, which means that if I can't help you today, I'm definitely not going to hurt you, but I do have to be very honest with you, even if it makes us all uncomfortable. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Perfect. So let me go ahead and tell you guys exactly what my job is. So first, I'm going to deliver and explain your will kit. Then I'm going to go over the additional benefits that y'all are entitled to if you can qualify. Now, my company, American Income, works with about 20,000 different labor unions, credit unions, and associations handling their additional benefits. So because you requested the will kit through us, you're going to get access to the same exclusive benefits that groups like police officers and firefighters have had access to for years. All right? So first things first, and that's your will kit. Have you guys, what made y'all decide to get these set up?
Well, it was, we saw that it was advertised for free, and, as long as we have the notary, we can just take care of it, and not have to involve the lawyers and all the additional fees.
Yeah, definitely. Perfect. So whenever y'all fill this out, it's very, very easy to follow. So there's two different parts to this. This green one is going to be your final draft. This is the one that you're going to want to fill out in black ink, get notarized, everything. All right? Now the one I'm going to be working with you on is the blue one. So the blue one is your rough draft. This is where you can kind of make your errors, get it sorted out the way you want to before transferring it over. Okay? Now when you go through this, it's very, very easy to follow along. We're going to start on the third page. So, you'll notice that the left side is examples and instructions, and the right side is where you'll actually fill it out, okay? So a couple things I want to point out here. First and foremost, it's payments of debts and expenses. Now, it's important to keep in mind that when you die, your debt doesn't always die with you. But bills can be transferred over to your spouse or to the kids, so just keep that in mind, especially as you start to get older. The big thing is medical bills, okay? The next part is disposition of property. So this is where you're going to be specific about who gets what. How many kids do y'all have?
10.
Oh, Okay, wow.
A lot of fun in the Philippines.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to do some sorting out unless you got a favorite, I don't know. But if you need more space than this, the final draft does have a full page and you can attach a blank sheet of paper. Just make sure to also get that notarized. Make sense?
Absolutely.
Perfect. So now on the next page, right here for nomination of independent personal representative, this will be the executor. Now the executor, you typically want them to be somebody that is not part of the will. No, somebody that's not getting anything out of it, just somebody that you know will follow through with everything in this to the best of your wishes. Now the digital executor can be the same person if you'd like. The digital executor is more specifically responsible for digital assets like stocks, bonds, investments, 401ks, things like that. Now you guys are not responsible for any minor children, right?
No.
Okay, good. So you can skip this part. I saw a dog outside. Is that y'all's?
No, that's the neighborhood.
Okay.
Actually, she must be cooking.
Oh my god.
Filipinos.
So you can slap him, I won't tell. Alright, so this section goes over the legal powers that the executors have. Make sure you read through that and fully understand everything that it entails before selecting somebody. Alright? Now this section, special directives, is very important. This is where you're going to be specific about your final wishes. If you prefer a cremation versus a funeral, a pine box versus a cedar box, things like that. Now, other than through your job or through the VA, who all do you have your life insurance with?
With y'all, actually.
With us?
Y'all are American Access, right?
No. American Income.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So American Access?
American Access.
Okay, perfect. Do you know what type of life insurance you have?
I don't know. All the paperwork's in the safety deposit box.
Okay.
I haven't really looked at it.
Do you know if it's a term, universal?
I really don't know. I think it's probably whole life.
No worries. So you do want to list your insurance in here, but only if it's permanent insurance. So stuff through the VA, stuff through jobs, stuff like that won't count. Do keep that paperwork with this. Just don't put it in it because that stuff can be changed or taken away. Make sense?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Now the next page, for the signatures, you do want 2 witnesses as well as a notary. The witnesses cannot be beneficiaries or the executor. And once you get it notarized, take a notarized copy to the county and get it registered. Make sense?
Absolutely.
Perfect. The second half of this is going to be your living will. This is where you can be specific about any type of treatment you do or do not wish to receive, if you have a DNR request, religious request, things like that. On here, you'll also be able to select a surrogate who's able to make medical decisions on your behalf should you be unable to make them yourself.
Right.
Okay? And then same thing, 2 witnesses and a notary. Once you get it notarized, you can take a copy to your primary care physician or the local hospital just so that they have it on file.
Sure.
All right. Very back page is the spot to put web addresses, username, and password for any of those online accounts you may have. So those stocks, bonds, investments, things like that. Also smaller things like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and even your Facebook. You're going to want to put that information in here. That way the kids can shut all that down. Okay?
Gotcha.
Any questions about this?
No, really thorough and
Yeah.
self-explanatory.
Exactly, very easy. All right, so I'm going to set this over here for y'all. Now, obviously, you guys saw value in getting the will kit set up. It is pretty pricey when you try to get it through, a lawyer and attorney.
Right.
So y'all are able to sponsor up to 10 families to receive will kits as well. So if you have siblings or older friends that you know, we can get that out to them. So who would you like to sponsor for that?
Let's go with Jacob.
Jacob? Perfect. Who else?
Her sister, Beth.
Beth? Perfect. Who else?
And see, we don't really know a lot of people around here, but Mike across the street could probably use one of these as well.
Perfect. All right. Now the next no cost benefit is a child safe identification kit. Now obviously y'all don't need one of these, but I'm sure you know families of kids, right? Right, so these kits provided by American Income are one of the most comprehensive on the market, and they give the police what they need to help find a missing child. You can only get these from a visit from somebody like me, and basically it just gives parents a spot to put fingerprints, DNA sample, photograph. That way if their child ever goes missing, they can pull it out and hand it right over to the police. All right? Right now it kind of seems like every time we're turning on the news, we're hearing something about human trafficking, kidnapping, kids running away from home. if something happened to one of the children of the families that you knew, you'd probably want their parents to have safety kits, right?
Yes.
Right. So, as the endorsed company by the International Union of Police Associations to handle this, you are able to get those safety kits up to 10 families that have children. Now, do Beth or your guy across the street, do they have kids?
I don't think they have any in the house.
Okay.
Don't really know. We know families with children, but not at the age where they would be worried about them.
When are you not worried about your kids?
He's making soap in the backyard. I know where he's at.
All right. Well, who do you know that does have kids 18 or younger that we can get those to?
Nobody around here, and I'd have to call and check before I gave any information out to them.
Okay. You don't have any like nieces, nephews, grandkids yet?
Not yet.
Kids in the neighborhood?
Not yet. Not that we know of.
Okay. No worries. So, the next no-cost benefit is a health service discount card. Now, because benefits through work can be changed or taken away, this will help by giving you up to a 60% discount on eye care, hearing care, prescription drugs, and chiropractics. This brochure has all the enrollment information as well as a 1-800 number and a website that will answer any of your questions. I'll leave this here for you. Just check it out after I leave. Now, the next no-cost benefit is an accidental death and dismemberment life insurance policy. Now, Joe, for you, this is going to be a living benefit that'll pay you $1,000 for loss of a hand, a foot, or sight in one eye, and double that, or $2,000 for the loss of any two. Now, Mary, for you, this is going to be a death benefit that'll pay you the $2,000 should Joe die in an accident. Now, when we give this to people, we know that $2,000 really is not all the money in the world, but if something happened to Joe, I'm sure you would find use of it, right? Right. So, Joe, go ahead and sign here acknowledging the benefit, and then Mary's the beneficiary. Mary, go ahead and sign here acknowledging the benefit, and then Joe, you're the beneficiary. Thank you. Now, one more thing I need to do is to put 2 emergency contacts on here in the event that y'all were to die together in a common accident. It'd be wise if they were local, over the age of 18, and living outside of your home. So who would be first?
Her sister, Beth,
Perfect.
and my brother Mike.
Mike. Perfect. All right, now I need y'all's help. You think you can help me with something?
Sure.
So American Income gives me 10 of these life insurance certificates that they allow me to use for families that you introduce me to. Now I'm just asking for an introduction. It is no cost to you or them. Worst case scenario, they get some more insurance and you help me out. Now everyone always gives this to their emergency contacts since they're closest to you. So aside from them and aside from the people getting the will kits, let's get this out to at least 3 more people. Now, obviously, I would like to start with your kids, that way they have something. So who's making soap in the backyard?
Yeah, he does need that coverage. We're not really, we gave out some information there, but I'm not really comfortable giving out any more names.
Okay.
I have the family and the neighbor, we're pretty close, so we're pretty comfortable sharing information, but anybody else.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. I know it's difficult nowadays to know which companies you can trust and which you can't. But let me ask you this. Do you think that over 20,000 different groups would select one life insurance company out of all the others to advise their members if they didn't trust that company?
Of course not.
Of course not. Now, when you requested the kit, you filled out a card for it, and so you got a call. Now, your friends and your family will get the same phone call, basically me just explaining what it is. That way it allows them to decide if this is right for them. Now, if they're not interested, no big deal, but what I've found is that the people sponsored into the program usually find the most value in it because it's something they wouldn't have otherwise had access to.
Okay, so this won't be like a spam call or anything?
No,
you're not,
just me.
No address?
Yeah,
okay.
Just me. So, you want to start off with your kids?
Let's go with the neighbor, Bob.
Bob? Perfect. All right, who's next?
And let's see, his wife, Mary.
Mary and Mary, huh?
Yeah, side by side, both from Philippines.
All right, who else?
Let's see, I got the guy at work that works there, my foreman for my RV place, Joseph.
Joseph, perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
that's really everybody we've got for now.
Awesome. Now, I do ask that you please give these people a call or a text, just letting them know I'm going to get into contact with them in the next few days. That way they know it's me calling in. In fact, I'll go ahead and send you a pre-written text message now. That way, if it's easier for you, you can just copy, paste, send it to them, okay?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so the reason that this is a two-part program is because right now families are dealing with some serious gaps in their coverage. That's why this is important enough that they have me out here in person to review it with you. Now, the first concern always has to do with funeral and final expenses. Now, have either of you ever had to be financially responsible for a funeral before?
Not entirely, but yes.
So
I am very aware of the cost of it. They get very expensive very fast.
Yeah. How long ago was it the last time you?
2 years.
2 years. Okay.
2
Do you
years.
remember about how much it was?
Our part was around 5,000. I think it might have been around 15 to 20 total.
Yeah, that's about right. And so I'm guessing that person didn't have life insurance. That's why everybody came together for it.
Exactly. Yeah, they were very, very protected.
Yeah. Was it difficult for your family?
Absolutely. I mean, that's death in the family is difficult on everybody.
Yeah, of course. And, not only losing a person is tough, but coming up with that money is just not feasible for a lot of families. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. Once you're retired, you're kind of living on a fixed income. And unfortunately, funeral homes do want that money right away. And even if you have a prepaid funeral, families still end up having to pay out of pocket when the time actually comes.
Right.
So that's why that's the first concern. Now, the second concern is reduction in retirement income. Typically, remaining life insurance is needed to help the surviving spouse or remaining family to compensate for the loss of income, loss of retirement, and loss of Social Security. Now, the third is cancer. Now, right now, we all know someone who's either had or died from cancer, right? Right.
Yes, actually, we lost Mary's mom to cancer.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that. How long ago?
3 years.
Okay. How long did she have it?
It hit her pretty fast.
Okay.
We weren't able to get over there to see her pass, or to be with her before she passed.
Jeez, that's tough. Yeah, it's affecting people like crazy. Right now, men have a 1 in 2 chance of getting it. Women have a 1 in 3. And once we hit 65, Mary, it becomes 1 in 2 for us too.
Right.
In fact, 76% of all cancer is diagnosed after the age of 55. The problem with that is that, by the time you're retired, you're sitting on your nest egg. You got your fixed income, you've planned out the rest of your life, and cancer can come up and sweep all that out from under you, because even people with the best medical insurance still end up spending between $1,500 to $2,000 per month in out-of-pocket costs. And, the next concern has to do with group benefits are not member-owned. Like we said, benefits through a job can be changed or taken away even after someone enters retirement. And the last concern is always affordability. Now, we sit down with families from all walks of life. Some are making $7 an hour, some are making $50 an hour, some are laid off, working a ton of overtime, or even retired. They set this up because they want it to be affordable for everybody. So the final no-cost benefit is a needs analysis. I'm going to ask y'all a couple questions to see if there's a gap. If there's no need, it will not make a recommendation. But if there is a need, then I'll review the recommendation with you. Okay? So before I get into that, I do have this mandatory read-off letter for you. It just goes over the enrollment process. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to make you read that whole thing. I will just summarize it for you. Basically, what this is saying is just, as I'm going over the benefits, if y'all are nodding your head thinking, wow, these are great, I see why they have y'all out here and why all the families are doing this, then I am going to ask that you go ahead and take advantage today while I'm here. But on the flip side, if you're thinking, oh, this is great, but it just does not fit a need for us, then of course I'm going to ask you not to apply. Either way, yes or no, the decision does have to be made today during the service visit, in fairness to everybody else still waiting to enroll. Now, they could do it this way because these benefits have been checked, rechecked, and approved by over 20,000 different groups who set it up to be a no-brainer. So it will be an easy yes or no. Does that make sense?
It does.
Perfect. Now, whatever y'all do decide, they still want your opinion on this officer report form, which is kind of like my report card. So it's just important that you listen and stop me if you have questions. All right. Joe, you promise to stop me if you have questions?
I promise.
Mary, you too?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So, Mary, let me get you in here. All right. Okay, so Joe, on yourself, how much life insurance do you have that is not attached to your retirement or any jobs? Like, what's the face value?
I don't know right now. It's probably not too much.
Okay.
Might as well say 0.
Okay. And then what about for you, Mary?
We're in the same boat. Like I said, it's all down the safety deposit box, so we don't have it.
No worries. And then do y'all rent or own your home?
We own.
Own it outright or still have a mortgage?
Outright.
All right. And then do y'all use a checking account, savings account, neither or both?
Both.
All right. Okay, so these health questions pertain just to the two of y'all. Any nicotine or marijuana use in the past year?
No.
Hospitalized for heart attack, stroke, or cancer in the past 2 years?
No.
Kidney dialysis or failure?
No.
Heart, lung, liver, or bone marrow transplant?
No.
Toe, foot, or leg amputation due to illness or disease?
No.
Disability from arthritis, back, knee, or joint injury in the past 6 months?
No.
Currently hospitalized, bedridden, resident nursing facility, or use home oxygen?
No.
Alcohol treatment or DUI in the past 5 years?
No.
Any terminal illnesses?
No.
And have y'all ever been advised to take tests, diagnosed, or treated for cancer, tumors, or unexplained masses?
No.
Alright, now the big question, would y'all prefer earth burial or cremation?
I think we're looking at cremation.
Cremation? So,
Hopefully our son doesn't make us into soup.
that's a little morbid. I'm gonna have to meet this son. Alright guys, so. So, I'm going to review y'all's areas of concern. So, I have a couple different options for y'all. Now, the first option is the Gold program. The Gold program is going to set you both up with a $20,000 whole life policy. Now, because there's a 100% chance your family will need this, I'm going to let this quick video explain this benefit.
The thought of dying or losing a loved one is never an easy topic. Most people prefer to avoid talking about it altogether. Unfortunately, it's one conversation you're guaranteed to have at some point during your life. You may have already experienced the string.
So, the Freedom of Choice certificate has been set up to handle this burden for your family. Now, when someone dies and the family takes the life insurance policy into a funeral home and they see that it's worth $20,000, how much do you think they're going to charge?
$20,000.
Exactly. So instead, your family is going to take this. This allows them to negotiate the prices as far as your flowers, your casket, your gravesite, and your services. They will put the negotiated amount here, beneficiary signs here, and everything is taken care of. Now, this is protected with whole life insurance. That way it's their when and not if the family needs it. And it's specifically designed to protect any existing insurance or any savings that the family has. That way this can take care of final expenses and everything else actually goes back to your family. Does that make sense so far?
Absolutely.
Perfect. So, the first recommendation sets you both up with $20,000 for funeral and final expenses. And it also includes a $100,000 cancer plan. Now, the cancer plan, how it works is in the event that you were to be diagnosed with cancer, upon diagnosis, you would send your treatment paperwork to and from the company, and they will reimburse you based on treatment. This way, your medical insurance is going to take care of whatever they take care of for the bills, and this puts money back in your pocket to help pay for the co-pays, deductibles, experimental drugs, transportation to and from treatment facility, time off work. Even if it's just to allow you to focus on getting healthy and not worry about how your lights are staying on. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Perfect. So, the Gold program with $20,000 of whole life and $100,000 of cancer coverage for each of you would be $325 per month. Now, the Silver program is a $15,000 whole life policy and a $50,000 cancer plan, and that would be $208 per month. And then the basic program, to just get your foot in the door, is a $10,000 whole life policy for each of you and a $25,000 cancer plan, and that would come out to an even $100 per month. Now, what would make the most sense for y'all?
Well, it seems to be the silver program, but we're really going to need to think about it.
Okay.
Sit down and kind of process this and see what would be best for us.
Okay, no problem. I totally understand where you're at. The thing is, though, like the letter said, they wanted us to do this on an enrollment basis. Now, you already know that these benefits have been checked, rechecked, and approved, and these are the ones that you're eligible and entitled to. The thing is keeping it comfortable. Okay, you already know the company is A+ rated and 100% union, and everything's been checked, rechecked, and approved. Now, the key is, like I said, just keeping it comfortable. So remember, if anything ever becomes uncomfortable for you in the future, you can always change it. Now, most members are enrolling at this level. Is that comfortable for you, or did you want to maybe go for the lower one?
I think the middle one would be comfortable, but you said we can change it later.
Mm-hmm.
So would we have to get another policy to change it, or would we be able to alter this one?
So if it ever becomes uncomfortable for you, all you have to do is call me. I'll come back out. We can always reduce it down. But with life insurance, you want to get what you can get while you can get it. Because unfortunately, you can have all the money in the world and still not be able to qualify for life insurance. Which, speaking of, let me go ahead and make sure that you guys qualify before we get too far into this, okay? Now, some of these are a little redundant, so just bear with me. Has anybody been rejected for life insurance by American Income before?
No.
Anybody used nicotine or marijuana in the past 12 months?
No.
Advised that you have a terminal illness?
No.
Have you had or have been advised to have a heart, lung, liver, or bone marrow transplant?
No.
Diagnosed or treated for cirrhosis, Alzheimer's, ALS, or dementia?
No.
Diagnosed or received treatment for chronic kidney failure, including kidney dialysis?
No.
Been diagnosed or treated for AIDS or HIV?
No.
Have you had a toe, foot, or leg amputated due to illness or disease?
No.
In the past 2 years, has the proposed insured been hospitalized for a heart attack, stroke, or been diagnosed or received treatment for cancer, tumors, or unexplained masses?
No.
Have y'all been bedridden, hospitalized, or a resident of a nursing facility, or require oxygen equipment to assist in breathing in the home setting?
No.
Been advised to receive treatment for alcohol abuse? Been arrested or driving for DUI or DWI in the last 5 years?
No.
In the past 6 months, has anyone been disabled due to arthritis, injury to back, knee, or joints?
No.
And have y'all ever been advised to take tests, been treated, diagnosed, or received treatment for cancer, tumors, or unexplained masses?
No.
Okay. So, I am not the underwriter, but it does look like y'all should be able to qualify for the benefits. So, this is the Q&R checklist. It's just a mandatory checklist that I have to review with everybody that applies. It just goes over the enrollment process. Now, this program is set up on a once-a-month computerized deduction through your banking system. Having it done this way gains you the discounted rate. You guys chose the silver program, so your program is exactly $208 per month.
Mm-hmm.
And this can be handled anytime between the 1st and the 12th of each month. What date works best for you?
Probably around the 12th.
12th? Alright, so middle month?
Yes.
Perfect. Now, because this is a member-owned program, and once it's issued, it cannot be taken away by American Income or your employer. There's an application process, which we started with the health questions, and there will be some additional information that I'll need to go over with you in a few minutes as well. Now, the enrollment process takes anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks. Once accepted, you'll receive your policies and a congratulatory letter welcoming you to AIL. If denied, you'll receive your money back, and you can write to American Income to request why. Now, obviously, with these benefits, y'all are conditionally covered from the moment I walk out of here. So the first bank draft does happen within 24 to 48 hours. So that means as soon as it could be as tomorrow, but based on your bank, it could take a couple days later. So just make sure that money stays in your account. Does that make sense?
So not the 12th.
Right, so this one's going to come out this week, and then not again until the 12th of February.
Not really comfortable, or not really ready for a draft to come out in the next, you said 24 to 48 hours?
Yeah, as soon as it's tomorrow.
Yeah, we can't really have anything done that soon.
Okay.
We've got our end of the month bills that we need to take care of. But if you could come back on the 12th, we could do that then.
Like I said, I wish I could, but what I can do is let's go ahead and just drop this back to this basic program, just cut it in half and even $100 per month, 25 bucks per week, get your foot in the door. Then when you're ready, I'll be your agent and I can come back at any time and bump y'all up as long as you still qualify. Does that make sense?
That sounds good.
Perfect. Now, so that I only have to make y'all get up one time, I do need you guys to get up and grab me your driver's license, a voided check from the account you'd like to use, any medications that y'all are taking, and your doctor information.
Sure.
Thank you. All right. Now, once you become a senior, life insurance does work a little bit different. With most companies, you'll notice that if you die within the first 2 years, your family will only get the premiums back. Our company, in order to go around that, we do what's called a graded program, where if you die in the first year, your family will at least get 25% of the face value. In the second year, they'll get 50% of it, and in the third year, they'll get 75% of it. Now, once you've lived that full third year, it's 100% for the rest of your life. Does that make sense?
Perfect, yes.
Awesome. Now I'm going to issue y'all a conditional receipt, which basically just says that you are conditionally covered from the moment I walk out of here, pending your underwriting. Okay? Now, over the next couple of weeks, you will receive probably several phone calls. Please just bear with us. They're going to do their best to make sure that we have all the information correct. That way, when something does happen, this money pays out to your family. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Perfect. So they're going to ask you a couple questions, height to weight, things like that I'm going to ask you as well. They're just double checking my work, so just do me a favor and keep all your answers the same, okay?
Sure.
Awesome. Now, they also may request a physical from you. If they do, they'll call you directly to set it up. It's totally free of charge. They actually come out to you at your convenience, and it's just basic height, weight, blood, or urine. Make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. Now, we also will be requesting medical records from your doctor. Sometimes doctors can be a little slow, so if they're taking too long, I might call you to see if you can tell them to hurry up for us, okay? Make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. Now, I'm going to have you sign some electronic signatures as well as physical signatures, and I'll go over your folder and all your paperwork with you. Go ahead and sign right here. This is just acknowledging that you're aware that that $100 will come out within the next 24 to 48 hours.
Sure.
Perfect. Now, Joe, Mary, almost everyone takes advantage of this program, like you, because of the cost is so low compared to the value of the benefits. Now, it is rare, but sometimes members do cancel. It could be, weeks, months, or even years down the line. And we end up seeing those same people another 2 or 3 years later during the next service period. And, unfortunately, they're no further ahead than they were in the first place. Many members are wanting to re-enroll in the program, but the problem is now they're older, so the program is more expensive. And worst case is that their health has changed and they can no longer even qualify. So the point is that this is not a short-term fix. It's a long-term solution, and the longer you have the program in place, the greater the value. So if this $100 is uncomfortable for you, let's fix it now while I'm here. How does everything feel?
Feels great.
Good. So just make sure to keep this important program in place for your family, and the next time you see me, you'll be glad you did.